What if every time you tried to succeed, your own mind sabotaged you? How do you hit the target when fear makes your hand tremble? In a small village, there lived an archer named Nestor, known far and wide for his unparalleled skill with a bow. He could shoot an arrow straight through the eye of a sparrow from 100 paces, or split a tree branch in half with a single shot. His fame grew so great that one day, the king summoned him to compete in a prestigious archery tournament where only the best in the land could participate. Nestor arrived at the tournament full of confidence, knowing that his skill would surely carry him to victory. But as he stood before the target, something strange happened. His hand began to tremble. For the first time in his life, doubt crept into his mind. What if he missed? What if, in front of the king and all these people, he failed? His first arrow flew wide. The crowd murmured in disbelief. Nestor felt the pressure mounting. His second shot was no better, closer, but still far from the center. With each miss, his self-doubt grew stronger. By the third round, Nestor's hands were shaking uncontrollably. He was defeated, not by his competitors, but by his own fear. After the tournament, humiliated and confused, Nestor sought out an old Stoic teacher named Irene who lived in the mountains. When he found her, he confessed his failure and asked, "Why, after years of perfecting my skill, did I fail when it mattered most?" Irene listened patiently and then said, "Tell me, what were you thinking as you prepared to take your shot?" Nestor replied, "I was thinking about the crowd, about the king, about what they would say if I failed." Irene nodded. There is your answer. You were thinking not of the target, but of everything else. You allowed your mind to be filled with noise and distraction. A true archer focuses only on the target, nothing more. Fear of failure is a greater enemy than the arrow that misses. She then handed him a bow and arrow. "Shoot," she said. Nestor, confused, took the bow and aimed at a distant tree. His hands were still shaky, his mind clouded with self-doubt. He hesitated. Irene stepped in front of him and said, "Close your eyes." "What?" Nestor asked, bewildered. "Close your eyes," she repeated. Nestor closed his eyes. "Now draw the bow and release the arrow." "But how will I hit the target if I cannot see it?" Irene smiled. "You have spent your entire life aiming with your eyes. Now you must aim with your mind." Nestor drew the bow and released the arrow. He heard the soft thud as it struck something. When he opened his eyes, he saw that the arrow had embedded itself in the tree, far from the center, but it had hit the mark. Irene nodded approvingly. "You see? Even with your eyes closed, you hit the target because you trusted your skill. The moment you stop focusing on the fear of failure, your body knows what to do." The same is true in life. Do not allow fear to cloud your judgment. Focus only on the task at hand and trust in your preparation. Nestor returned to his village and continued to practice his craft, but this time with a new mindset. He no longer feared failure, for he understood that true mastery comes not from perfect control, but from letting go of the fear that keeps us from performing at our best. The archer's paradox teaches us that often, the biggest obstacle to success is not our lack of skill, but our own fear of failure. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of focusing on the present moment and the task at hand, rather than being consumed by the outcome. When we learn to let go of the fear of what others may think or what might happen, we free ourselves to perform at our highest potential.